Over in Belfast, there's an art installation that you may just miss if you're not looking close enough. I'll tell you all about it and the man behind the art in this week's Destination Devin.
What do you see here? It may seem like just another rocky stretch of beach along the shores of Belfast, but if you look closely, you'll find what remains of an art installation by a man whose art can be found across the country.
He just kind of loved the expression you could get in human faces. And he said
he had a dream. Their faces were just, all these faces were coming at him.
Around a corner like a train.
Ron Cowan is a Maine artist who specialized in a very particular style of art, faces carved out of wood and hidden in plain sight. For his carvings, Ron would leave the majority of the wood intact, only carving out a face, often leaving the wood right where it was found, anticipating an unknowing spectator may someday stumble upon it.
He loved the idea of things being created, and you may notice them in the moment, and you may not. And then they may disappear, and you either did experience it or you didn't, and there's a real poetry there.
Before he delved into his art, Ron tried his hand at a few different professions, restaurateur, sales management, but nothing really stuck until the day he salvaged a wooden beam from a barn.
And he said, "Oh, I wonder, let me try putting a face in there."
Turned out Ron had quite the knack for carving faces. The first carving was so good, in fact, it was featured in the Mel Gibson film The Man Without a Face. From that day on, Ron proceeded to carve dozens upon dozens of faces, some of which can still be found scattered throughout Belfast.
He would look at wood and he would just see a face appear there, and he would just bring it out of the wood.
Sadly, Ron passed away in 2020, but he left behind a legacy of love and happiness.
He was just really happy to do it. He loved Belfast so much.
Everyone loved Ron, because he was very nice, and he liked everyone and tried to be kind to everyone.
In Belfast, Devin Dagnall, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Wow, very cool. And you said they're disappearing there on the waterfront?
Yeah, so the one at the beginning of that story, it used to be a collection of 7 altogether, but
Wow.
and it was installed in the late 90s, I believe. I might be wrong
Oh,
with
so
that, but
they've been around.
they've been around for quite some time, but
Yep.
you know, as the tides have come in and out, most recently one of them got swept away with those winter storms that we
Oh,
had.
yeah.
But you know, there's still a couple there. So if you head out on the coast during low tide,
Yep.
you'll be able to see them, because if tide, they wash away.
Right.
What a neat guy, what a neat thing he did to leave that behind too. you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Makes
Something
it even more poetic now.
ephemeral.
Yeah.
It's only there for a little while, and then it's gone, and you can never see it again.
Right. Yeah, that's a fascinating and beautiful concept.
Yeah.
Great
Good
story.
stuff.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
All right after the break, Tyler Cruz will have our sports updates. Plus, we'll hear about a cool flea market that's coming to town this weekend.
Don't go away.